What's up, guys? How are you? Happy Sunday. It is the Sunday edition of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You can follow me on Twitter at Sports Talk Matt. You can follow BettingPros on Twitter at BettingPros NFL. This podcast is being brought to you by BetMGM. And if you guys are watching it on YouTube, you see the offer from BetMGM right above me, the $20 to win $100 in any event by using the promo code JUICE100 at BetMGM on their app, on their website, betmgm.com, and so on. Okay, so not a good day yesterday. We go 1-3 on the podcast picks, and we go 1-1 with the prop bets. So a 2-3 day, not great, down quite a bit. Gave back most of what we won yesterday. Unfortunately, we do not get that Memphis Grizzlies win. They go. The Utah Jazz went on a 12-0 run in the final minute and a half of that game to take the win and the cover. That stunk. The Bruins, I tried one. Okay, I told you last night that was sort of. I broke my own rule. Shame on me. Dumb play. Bruins win 4-2 or 5-2, whatever the final was. It goes over the 5 goals that we had talked about yesterday at plus 120, and that's a bad move by me. I take responsibility for that. That was a stupid bet. Listen to my plays. Some of you ignored me, you were smart, and you said, well, Matt, you made more sense when you said bet the over 5 than you did when you said bet the under 5. So I tried to get the plus money. It didn't happen, so I apologize for that bet. That was a bad bet. The over 5 comes in easily. And then we see we got the Haney fight right. That was good to get over 8.5 rounds. In the books here in Vegas, they weren't offering to go the distance. I would have bet on that personally, but only a couple books in Vegas actually even offered the fight. I mean, some books didn't even put it up because it was such an interesting mismatch. I mean, Haney was such a big favorite. It crashed. It went from minus 1,400 all the way down to minus 750. Boxing's funky like that, and then Haney winds up winning, so he retains his belt, and we'll see where the 22-year-old goes on from there. He had a couple of moments where he looked a little shaky, but he boxed better, he performed better than what he had in previous fights, but again, a third fight in a row goes to a unanimous decision in his favor, so it goes the distance again. So previous 2 fights, and this one as well, goes the distance. So he isn't showing a whole lot of knockout power for a guy at 135 who's supposed to be very talented and having a lot of upside to his game. He needs to start, I think, knocking people out and start doing some things that are going to bring eyeballs to the table. But anyways, we got that right. 1-1 on the player props. So today, here's how today is going to go. This morning, we taped this overnight, but this morning I am getting in my car and I am driving to Horseshoe Bend, which is in Arizona. It is a pretty big drive. It's like 3.5, 4 hours. We're going to stay the night over there. So tomorrow night, or I guess tonight when I tape tomorrow's podcast, I will most likely be in my hotel room. So this whole backdrop behind me, not going to be there. The whole light structure, not going to be there. So it will sound probably a little bit different because I'll probably be on a different microphone than what I normally am on. But this is kind of like life getting back to normal, and how do you do the daily juice when you're out and about and traveling and doing trips and family things and whatnot. So it's the Memorial Day weekend, and so I'm not working on my radio show on Monday. So we're going to take a night and go over to Horseshoe Bend, little 1-mile hike. If you don't know what that is, it's a place where the Colorado River has carved out this really unique and cool horseshoe-shaped thing that's got gorgeous vistas, and we've always wanted to go there since we moved here to Vegas. So we're finally going to do that little bucket list thing coming up tomorrow night here for us, for our family, or tonight, I guess, technically tonight. So just a heads up, tomorrow's podcast will be a little bit different, look a little different, sound a little different than what it normally sounds like for Monday, from the Monday edition of the Daily Juice podcast. So because of that, I'm going to do a couple things unique here. There will be no player props tomorrow, okay? No NBA player props. I'm going to be hiking. I won't be on the Discord channel. I'll be out and about doing stuff in the car mostly for Sunday and Monday, but there won't be any player props coming for today, just FYI. I have got 2 bets to give you that are series prices in place of the quarter unit player props. Okay, so since I'm not giving you player props, I'm going to give you 2 bets to make quarter unit on NHL future bets to make. So I've got that coming at you. Okay, so just FYI. The picks here today are going to be pretty redundant. I'm not going to overthink a lot of these plays. And some of them we've made them before. I'm going to make them again. Okay, so let's just start here with Phoenix in LA. And Anthony Davis is nicked up, but he said there's no way in hell he's not playing. Okay, Again, what happened in game number, 3, should not have happened. We should not have seen this game go over. It went under. It went over because of the referees. And game 3 was just crazy. Like, the total just crashed and crashed and crashed. And I think we're in for another pretty similar game here today between these two teams. And if you look at the way that these games have gone, it's a 2-1 lead right now for the Lakers. And so game 1, 99-90. Game 2, 109-102. It's 211. Game 3, 109-95. Okay? So 209, the under has come in on all 3 of those games, except technically it was over by 2 points, the 211. But so really, it's that number, right? 209, 210, it's all right there. It's going to come down to free throws, come down to performances, but I mean, the Lakers play very slowly at home. Are the Suns going to come out and play a lot better? Maybe. Are the Lakers going to shoot well? I don't know, because they haven't shot well. Anthony Davis played very well in the last game, but does he play well again? So, look, the Lakers at home this year, 16-22 to the over. Not good. On the road, Phoenix 21-16 to the over. They're better, but against the Lakers, their pace of play is so slow, and now they're nicked up, and now they're banged up. I'm going under 209 here, under 209 for Lakers and the Phoenix Suns. Hopefully it goes up for you guys. I bet it at 209. There's some books at 209.5. Hopefully you guys wake up and it's like 211, 212, and the public bets it up, and you guys get a better number than I'm going to get here. But, I mean, it's a Sunday game, game 4. Yeah, I'm going under. 209 under Phoenix and LA. And remember, watch the halftime and try to middle that if you can, and all the other fun stuff that we've done before. At one point in game 3, the live total was 181. Okay? Like, are you kidding me? So that you could have easily bet that over, and you would have middled and hit both bets. So watch for that coming up with Phoenix here. And the Lakers. Okay, so pick number 2. I'm passing on the Clippers in Dallas. I don't know what the Clippers are going to do, and I don't know if Dallas has an answer. I'm passing on Brooklyn and Boston. The reason is because Boston won game 3, and Brooklyn's going to come out like gangbusters, pretty much, right? And you think Brooklyn's going to win, but Boston's got a capacity crowd. It's TD Garden. I mean, you would expect Brooklyn. I mean, Brooklyn had, 41 and 39 from Kevin Durant and from James Harden, somewhere in that range, and they lost. So, I mean, does Tatum go for 50 again? Probably not, but could he? Yeah, he could. And so that's my concern here. And maybe Kemba's knee feels better, and I'm just passing on Brooklyn and Boston. I'll follow along, but I'm not going to get too heavily involved here with it just because I don't really know which Boston team's going to show up, because you never know which team for Boston's going to show up. If I was betting it, I would lay the 7 with Brooklyn if I was betting it. Maybe Boston in the first half. But okay, so that leaves New York and Atlanta. You know what I'm betting here, right? I mean, we already have a bet on Atlanta to win the series. Atlanta's 41-33-1. Atlanta is tremendous at home. They're now 24-13 against the number at home. The Knicks are okay on the road, 23-14, but I mean, that was pretty bad. I mean, there was a 4.5-point line. Atlanta wins by 11. They were coasting for most of that game. And, Atlanta is 2-1 to the number coming up in this series. And maybe if you subscribe to the zigzag theory, you think the Knicks are going to come out and play much better. But I just don't think so. I just don't think the Knicks have enough firepower. And I don't think without Julius Randle going for 30 points, they don't have enough offense to handle Trae Young and company. I just think Trae Young is going to have a really big performance here, and I think if you're a fan of the Knicks, you got to realize that you're going to lose this game today, and you're probably done. And that's why dancing in the street didn't make a whole lot of sense. Why were you dancing in the street? What were you doing? It just, I don't know. It didn't make any sense to me when you guys were doing it, and just because it was one game. Why are you doing it for one game? Trae Young scored 21 points in the last game, and you guys lost by 11, and you were down huge. In the second quarter, you got outscored 29-13 by Atlanta. So, I mean, I just think Trae Young company, too much firepower, not enough for the Knicks. We're going here with a win and a cover for the Atlanta Hawks. Lay the 4.5, Atlanta minus 4.5. here today. Early game, by the way, 10 o'clock Pacific time, 1 o'clock Eastern time starts. First game of the day. Okay, so we're going back here to laying on with the Knicks. We start with the Hawks to beat the Knicks and cover -4.5. Okay, so under 209, Lakers and the Suns, and -4.5 for Atlanta and the Knicks. Bets we made 2 days ago, going right back to it, and we're making them again. All right, so now let's talk about the series prices here. Carolina, Tampa, Vegas, Colorado. Okay? We have a bet on Vegas to win the Stanley Cup. Okay? However, Colorado and Vegas, I think, are way closer than what the books are putting the line at. Vegas is +165. Colorado is -185. That is a huge discrepancy. Huge discrepancy as to who wins this series. I don't buy it. I mean, I just don't buy it. If you look at the way these guys played each other during the regular season, I'm sorry. I'm really kind of confused as to why the books think this is such a monster difference. And these two teams, just like the Colorado is such a better team than Vegas. And if you look at the way that these guys played against each other this season, it was like a ping pong. I mean, first game won by Colorado, next 2 by Vegas, then 2 by Colorado, then Vegas, then Colorado, then 2 by Vegas, then Colorado. I mean, what am I missing here? These guys both have great goaltenders in Grubauer and Marc-Andre Fleury. Vegas has Max Pacioretty back, which is huge to have him back, as we saw what happened when they won 5-2 in Game 7. Sure, their legs might be a little bit more tired, but why is Vegas +165? I'm sorry. Quarter unit, take Vegas to win this series. They might lose the series, but there's plus money. +165 is just way too much value to me. And everyone in Vegas is going to be jumping on it. It's going to be a huge liability. The books are going to be all over Colorado, hoping that Colorado wins this series because they've got more firepower and blah, 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 okay? Vegas matches up much better with Colorado, in my opinion, okay? So take take Vegas to beat Colorado, quarter unit on that at +165. Just a value play. I'm not, don't yell at me if the Avalanche win. It's just plus money, okay? It's plus money at a quarter unit. I'm not giving you a player prop today. Spend your quarter unit bet on that, on Vegas at +165 to win this series, okay? And I do have a play in this game, all right? So if you look at the way these teams have played, all right, let's just go through going back to February 14th, okay? 1-0 Vegas, 3-2 Colorado, 3-2 Colorado, 3-0 Vegas, 5-1 Colorado, 3-2 Vegas, 5-2 Vegas, 2-1 Colorado, okay? Only 2 games have gone over here between these two teams. The total's 5.5, -110 on both sides. I'm going to predict this is going to be a tight, low-scoring game. I just got that Bruins game dead wrong with the Bruins and the Islanders, but everyone's going to go firepower, Colorado firepower, but I think one of these two teams will win the game 3-1. Okay, I think it's 3-1, 4-1. Maybe it's a 4-2 game and we lose, and that will stink. But I don't know who wins game 1, to be quite honest. I think Colorado probably wins game 1, but I'm not positive because Vegas is coming off a gigantic high, and sometimes when you're sitting and waiting, that's not good. Sometimes you want that rhythm of just playing and playing and playing like you do in the regular season, and then you stop and you cool your jets, and you come out sluggish. And you come out slow, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, it's playoff hockey again, and you kind of get taken aback, and you don't play the way that you're capable of. So I'm not positive that we're going to see a win here for Colorado, and just like a walk in the park here, and Colorado wins the game easily. So I'm gonna play the pull your guts out play. Okay, I'm gonna take the under at -110. There's no value on either side, over under. And let's just see what Marc-Andre Fleury and Philip Grubauer can do. Hopefully they both stand on their head, and it's a 2-1 win for somebody, and we wind up getting ourselves the under here for this half a unit play. Okay? So under half a unit in Vegas, quarter unit to win the series at +165. And what are you doing with that other quarter unit? Because we don't leave that hanging, obviously, because I give you 2 player props every day. The Hurricanes are taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. And this is, again, one of those things where I'm kind of like, So the Hurricanes They have home ice advantage, and they are +115 in this series. Okay. Carolina, to me, yeah. Let's throw a quarter unit on Carolina to win this series and knock out the defending champs. the way these guys played against each other during the regular season, I think it's interesting because, they pretty much, was it 1, 2, 3? They split 4-4. Okay, in there, no, 5-4. Sorry, 5-3, right? Hold on, 1, 2, 3. Oh, those were dating back last. Sorry, that was last year. For this year, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. So that would be 8 games being played, and 9 times. And they played. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5-4. Okay, 5-4 for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Carolina won the last meeting 4-2. Meeting before that went to overtime 3-2. Meeting before that was 4-3. 3-1 Carolina, 3-1 Tampa, 3-0 Tampa, 4-2 Tampa, 4-0 Carolina, 1-0, and 3-1 Tampa. Okay. I'll have a personal play on the under in this game too. And I'm not giving it out officially because it's scary, but both goaltenders are tremendous for both these two teams. I mean, both Tampa and Carolina, I know they have to go play another round, and my Boston Bruins will most likely play the winner of this series to go to the Cup Finals. But I don't know. It just feels like the winner of Tampa, Carolina, and the winner of Vegas and Colorado are going to the Cup Finals, and that's what your Stanley Cup Final is going to be. It just feels like that. Take the plus money on Carolina, plus 115, quarter unit on Carolina to go ahead and win that. So those are the plays for us here on a Sunday for the Daily Juice. Hopefully a bounce-back spot after a rough Saturday. Hopefully we have a better Sunday for us here today for our picks and plays. To recap again, we are going Carolina plus 115 to win their series, Vegas plus 165 to win their series, Vegas under 5.5 at minus 110, minus 110 on the Hawks to cover a 4.5-point line, and we're going under 209 at minus 110 for the Lakers and the Phoenix Suns. My name is Matt Perrault. You can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt every single morning. It is the Daily Juice Podcast right here on BettingPros.com, brought to you by BetMGM.